longevity supplements that we hear about, like rapamycin and some of the more mainstream ones that we've heard about in the past? I know there's that big dog study that they're waiting on with rapamycin. Do you have any optimism about any of that stuff?
So little teaser for the next volume of my book. I'm very optimistic about aspirin, bro.
I'm sorry,
A-
aspirin?
Aspirin could be one of the best longevity supplements, quote unquote. That's why I have willow bark extract. That's why I mentioned it multiple times already. That's why I have it in my protocol daily. I actually take aspirin as well some days, a lot of the days, you know.
Like a baby
Um,
size aspirin or a
no,
full dose?
no. Dude. Some days I take monster doses. Like your eyes would bleed if if you saw me taking three,
Maybe
four
literally.
grams of. No, that's another misconception that aspirin makes you bleed. It's probably the excipient. So I get my aspirin from Spain in cornstarch and cellulose base, right?
Oh, like the
So
binders? Is that what
it
in
could be more
America?
the titanium dioxide and all this other nonsense
Uh,
causing more problems. There's actually research that it actually can protect from like uh brain bleeding and stuff like that.
yeah,
The reason they're smearing aspirin is because they have newer drugs that they make more money off by selling to
Yeah.
thin the blood and stuff like that. But dude, willow bark has been known and used for like I don't know 4,000 years plus. This is because you know they do some of this a lot of research in like nematodes and like little tiny organisms and stuff. Like willow bark and aspirin, that's one of the most promising in terms of like life extension. I forgot, was it in the hundreds of percents? But certain over the counter supplements, not as fancy as rapamycin and whatever else, they actually in that more basic research, they actually are much more promising than these I don't know about these other ones, but like things like metformin, that's a scam.
yeah,
I
yeah.
used to take it.
Yeah.
I used to take it. Stupid, very stupid. Would never again. Growth hormone, another scam. The guy's paying thousands every month, like Joe Rogan on growth hormone. It's actually carcinogenic in certain contexts.
What's the other one that the doctor?
So you shouldn't take HGH. Is that what you're
Oh,
telling me?
dude, I would never take. I would
And
never
how
waste
about
money on that.
testosterone? Don't take that either.
I, here's the thing. I have a simple over-the-counter strategy I teach my male clients on how to block aromatization of things into estrogen, like testosterone and stuff, how to boost the androgenic pathway, and it works super well and it's cheaper. You don't have to inject yourself. And the problem with testosterone is because you're injecting so much, there's a high potential for that testosterone to aromatize into estrogen. So if you don't look after the blocking the aromatization into estrogen, which a lot of doctors they're just injecting you and that's it. This is actually where a lot of the negative stuff with testosterone is coming from. When guys have a very high testosterone and that turns into estrogen, it's the estrogen that will make you like aggressive, horrible to be around with, horrible mood. And a lot of the bodybuilding steroids, they're actually from an estrogenic base. So they might have an androgenic sort of affinity for the androgen receptor and stuff, but they have, because they're like from an estrogenic base, they're actually causing a lot of estrogenic type symptoms. So a lot of, I don't know if you've heard like bodybuilders talk about the weird sexual fantasies they have. They want to bang like centaur women and whatever else. So, but the way we do it, over the counter, cheap, safe, and it doesn't downregulate, doesn't shrink your testicles, doesn't downregulate your function. You can still have kids later if you want. You know, wean yourself off it in a couple of months, and it works a charm, bro.
So I have bad hips. You know, my hips, I think I did some damage to them during my partying days.
Hmm.
Um, you know, it's like I can't stretch the way I want to. You know, it's
Yeah.
like hard for jujitsu. What do you think's good for hips and joints like that?
So, but is it painful when you do that, or is it just you feel like your muscles
I
are
feel
not
like my
letting?
hinges are rusty.
Well, what I would do is let me order some lab tests to your home. You can conveniently like pee in a cup, poop in a thing, super easy. Do prick your finger, drop some blood on some paper, and we can find all of the most glaring imbalances. And by the way, every single person has some. I'm
I'm
sure.
gonna set the high score. I have to be. I know I'm going to.
No, dude, it's kind of crazy, but it's you you would it's usually sometimes people that you would think they got everything dialed, and they're just doing something crazy, like taking 10 grams of fish oil or something like that, every day, and that discombobulates a lot of things. So I wouldn't like you look to me. It's when I look at a person's face, that's a window into their health, right? And you actually, for someone that's your age, you actually like I believe, because I've done various substances, and this goes back to the serotonin sort of discussion, is I believe some of these substances are straight up therapeutic. That is why they made them illegal, LSD being one of them, because they found that in smaller doses, LSD is an antagonist of sorts to serotonin, and that has a lot of. So I think people are, yes, they like the buzz. I think the reason the microdosing thing started getting a lot of traction over the last few years is because people are straight up getting therapeutic effects out of these microdoses of LSD, because when the LSD binds to the serotonin receptors, I don't know if you've ever tried it, but if you take LSD 3 days in a row, on the third day you don't feel anything at all because you saturate your receptors. So it has a very sort of long time that it spends there. During that time, serotonin can't do the horrible things it will do. So this is super super therapeutic. So okay, some of the other ones, they can be a little bit nastier in the long term, but I forgot where I was going with this.
What do you think about psilocybin? Is that
Yeah.
is that in the same arena?
Yeah, I'm not. I was looking into it briefly. I'm not sure if it's a. I know it's a lot of those things, including LSD. They interact with serotonin receptors. For example, the 5-HT2A. That's the one that you get kind of the more hallucinogenic things. So the thing about LSD, for whatever reason, at smaller doses, it binds, but it doesn't exert action. Whereas at higher doses, it actually that's what causes the hallucinations. So with psilocybin and mushrooms and various other tryptamines, I'm not quite sure. Are they just having the effect, and that's why you're getting the? So, but what I've from my research, and this goes back to what I talked about cyproheptadine, which is a serotonin antagonist at the receptor level. What I found is if you go on Wikipedia, if you look at drugs that block serotonin receptors, dude, some of these things, they weren't marketed due to safety concerns, but they're being researched to treat the most aggressive and common type of brain cancer, glioblastoma. That's a certain serotonin antagonist. And then if you look at things that stimulate dopamine agonists, these things are used to treat sexual dysfunction in people. So it seems like anything that blocks serotonin has positive effects. Again, opposite to what we're being told, serotonin, the happy chemical, dopamine will make you addicted and psychotic. And things that stimulate dopamine are therapeutic. And whereas things that stimulate the serotonin receptors are the hallucinogenic things and very dangerous sort of designer drugs. So that's another clue that it's almost opposite land out there, man. They're saying that high dopamine causes schizophrenia. Another lie. ADHD is that have high dope. No, sorry. ADHD is that you have low dopamine, but then they give you a fucking amphetamine to treat that, where you can just raise your dopamine with amino acids and like basic minerals and vitamins, But anyway, that's a whole rabbit hole. I'm not sure if we have time to discuss.
This has been enlightening and crazy, and it's these are the episodes I love. I want to go down this hole and check it out. I'm gonna get some of that willow bark too. I mean, that sounds like something I need to have. We'll see. It's kind of crazy, man. Again, what is the website they can go to and do deep dives on if they want to learn more about this?
How to actually live longer.com.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get in there. I offer a free metabolic function assessment session with me, so we can get together, do a little survey of your areas, signs, symptoms. We can sit down together, discuss your health issues, health goals. I can explain how I can help you achieve your health goals, resolve your health issues. We can make a winning plan for you. And, it's, dude, I'm super passionate about stuff. I just love one of the best feelings is like clients telling me. I had one client, he works in the film industry. He was just on a movie gig, and he said, "Dude, I was like, I saved this movie." He told me like, "I saved this movie. I'm cool as a cucumber. Thank you for the help." And I'm like, "Dude, you just made my ear, you know." So this is what I love to do. So if anybody needs help out there, man, including you guys, if you want any lab work done, ordered, I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but like the stuff I do is pretty next level. So I would love to help you, you know, find the things that in 20, 30 years or even sooner could become a problem. Let's catch them now. Let's address them simply and easily. And let's get on with our lives kicking ass.
I'm in, dude. I love it. Christian, thank you so much for coming on. This has been great. I hope you guys all enjoyed it.